Ladies and gentlemen, gather round the flickering 5p Christmas lights, because who can afford fairy lights anymore? Pull up a stool at the bar of despair and lend an ear to the great British chorus of 2025 Mind. This isn't just inflation we're talking about, this is daylight robbery with extra VAT and a side of cold McDonald's chips. We've got New Yorkers staggering off the plane in disbelief at a £6 Sainsbury's gift bag. Locals calculating that their entire monthly disposable income now buys them precisely £10 a day of quiet sobbing, and one poor soul staring at a £30 half leg of goat meat like it's personally betrayed them. And don't get me started on the Freddo bar once, the proud 10p symbol of childhood joy. Now retailing for prices that would make a hardened gangster weep into his avocado toast, which, by the way, we can't afford either. These aren't just complaints. They're the sound of a nation slowly realising that the good old days weren't perfect. But at least £1 used to buy you actual things instead of existential dread and a single grape. Welcome to the Christmas special edition of How the Bloody Hell Are We Surviving This?
I've been in England for 2 days, and all I gotta say is, what the fuck? What are these prices? Why is a gift bag £6 from Sainsbury's? Why? Why? Like, it's bad enough that the food is fucking expensive, but a fucking gift bag, that shit is, I'm sure that shit is at the pound store. Probably not for £1, but I'm just still like, fucking £6 for a gift bag. This shit was not like this 2 years ago. And I'm coming from New York, where things are so expensive, but this shit's getting out of hand. How are y'all surviving over here?
Gather round, you absolute legends of fiscal despair, because nothing screams Merry Bloody Christmas quite like a grown adult in Blighty discovering their McDonald's order costs more than a small mortgage deposit, only to receive cold, sad chips that couldn't warm a penguin's arse in a sauna.
You know what? Anyway, since when does McDonald's cost you nearly a fucking contract? It's like a fucking contract. No word of a lie. I must have spent like £25-26 on a burger, chicken selection box and a Happy Meal. And 2 McFlurries. When did it ever get so expensive? Like, I'm not saying I don't have the money to pay for it, but it's such an overrated restaurant. What the fuck am I paying this much money? I hope, like, my contract don't even cost that much, blood.
Not getting supported within the family.
What the fuck? I am never ordering McDonald's. Again, I'm going in store. I will walk that 5. And you know what? Why does the food still come cold? My chips are dry ass. They're cold. Yeah.
At those words.
But my McDonald's is literally a 2-minute drive up the road by the grounds. So please tell me, why is my food still cold? And I'm paying a whole contract. Sorry, you just seen the food come out my mouth. For a fucking meal? Some dickhead movement. And the worst thing is, it don't even fill me up. But now I'm not even hungry. I'm not even hungry.
Christmas in Blighty 2025. Where a box of celebrations costs more than your nan's entire wartime ration book, a Freddo bar now demands the same respect as a small mortgage. And the only thing rising faster than the prices is the collective national urge to scream into a pillow while dreaming of the good old days when a quid could buy you happiness and a sugar coma.
Why the fuck is a box of celebrations or heroes £7? Who the hell is paying £7 for a box of chocolates? And please tell me why the box of celebrations is like this fucking thin. Only time they're cheap is when you go into Sainsbury's and they've gone to £3.95 in a supermarket. But even then, do you not remember when they used to be £3? At this moment in time, everyone's going to be fucking living on the streets at this point with how much everything's gone up. And it's only going to keep going up. Even toys. Like, my God, going into a toy shop is expensive when you thought going into Aldi's or anywhere is cheaper to buy your food. Like, it's not even that cheap. Like, even if you buy, like, the Savers items, they ain't that cheap anymore. I miss the old days when you could go into a little shop and you could buy 10 packs of crisps for £1. Or you could buy, like, the little pick and mix sweets for £1. Or you get all the fucking 5p sweets and a 10p Freddo. Please tell me who the fuck is paying 50, 60 pence or even 80 pence for a fucking Freddo bar that's like this big. This world has gone to shit and nobody can afford to live. Nobody can afford to go out and do a massive, massive food shop. Like, even people at Christmas are struggling, and I feel for everybody. The amount of customers that come into my shop and say to me, like, everyone that fought in the war to fight for this country and the country's turned out like this. Like, it is absolutely shocking. Back in the day, £1 used to get you so far if you go to a shop. If your mum used to give you £1, you used to be able to go to the shop and get loads of things for £1. Now £1 don't even get you fucking nothing. If I generally had all the money in the world, I would help so many people who struggle with Christmas. But it's just, everyone at this point is just hoping for, like, to win the lottery or something so they can actually afford to live. Nobody should have to struggle like this because it's absolutely appalling.
The festive spirit of 2025 inches, where after the bills have had their wicked way with you, you're left proudly budgeting like a Victorian workhouse resident, surviving on a majestic 10 quid a day, because nothing says season's greetings quite like calculating whether today's luxury is a cup of tea or the audacity to breathe indoors.
So I've just worked out that after I pay for the things that I need to for the month, I am spreading the rest of the money that I have calculated across 28 days, you know, the 4 weeks. I'm living on £10 a day. That's like how much I could actually live on. I'm just thinking about that for a minute. I have a little bit of part-time work, but like shifts are not coming in all the time. And that doesn't like massively offset the amount I'm getting, and then the amount I get actually gets deducted by 55% from the benefit. So I'm living on £10 a day, which I could maybe bump up to like £15 or £20 on some days depending on work, but like I said, that's like unstable shifts. What the fuck?
Oh, merry post-Christmas 2025. Everyone, picture this, a hard-working 5-year-old lass who pours pints in a pub but doesn't touch the booze, treats herself to one gingerbread hot chocolate a year like it's a Michelin-starred delicacy, and hasn't splashed out on Netflix since the dinosaurs roamed, yet still gets lectured by the mortgage-owning elders about how her lavish avocado habit, 1 pack every 3 weeks, mind, is the sole reason she'll never own a home. Because apparently marrying a billionaire is now the only ethical path left for young Brits, and even that's a stretch on a student budget.
I keep seeing videos of the older generation whining that we can't pay for houses, or we can't be bothered to get a full-time job, or we're too lazy, and the reason we can't do it is because we spend so much money on alcohol and avocado and toast and getting our little Starbuckses and paying hundreds of pounds for bloody subscriptions. I, for one, I don't drink alcohol. Yes, I work in a pub. I don't really drink hot drinks. If I do, it's like Christmas time, I'll get a hot chocolate every now and again, specifically gingerbread hot chocolate because they're delicious. I don't have subscriptions other than Apple Music. I don't have Netflix, I don't have Amazon Prime, nothing like that. I get an avocado, a pack of 2 from Asda for like £1 tops every 2 or 3 weeks. Those things, I can promise you, those things are not the reason I can't afford a house. I will never be able to afford a house unless I somehow either marry rich or get crazy rich and become a billionaire. Unethical, whatever. It's just not happening, and it's these generations before us aren't listening to us when we say it's the percentage increase of like the housing market back then versus the income versus the down payment you had to put down versus now. I'm 25. I'm in uni, so I'm in uni accommodation, so my financial income is slightly different. But I've been in full-time jobs before, and even then have never really been able to afford anything decent. If I've got my own place, it's been shared. I lived with my brother for a little while. Luckily we got out of that tenancy at the end of 2019, right before COVID hit, otherwise we would have been really screwed. Really, really bad. But obviously my plan is when I leave uni, 2 years, my friend's course is 1 year longer than mine, and she's probably going to do her master's. We want to go and live together somewhere outside of London, but direct enough to London that it's not too far out of the way, because the industry we're in kind of needs to be in London, or is really handy to be close to London. And that is, even then, that's going to be everything split between the two of us. And in those 2 years, I obviously want to get a job that's like full-time enough, so that I can still pay my mum a decent enough money for like, hey, thanks for letting me live with you again, and save enough money. But I will never ever be able to afford a house, and that is not because I buy an avocado once every 2 weeks. That's crazy.
Ah, the pure festive magic of Britain 2025. Popping the baby into town now costs a cheeky £60 parking fine because you dared breathe near a yellow line, turning family outings into luxury crimes while the council's enforcers lap the streets like they're training for gold, all because being skint and having kids is apparently the ultimate revenue opportunity.
The baby into town is now a £60 activity. Change my goddamn mind and a rant about the UK because it is actually utter bullshit. Honestly, taking a baby into town is now a luxury experience. Park 2 centimetres over a line, that's 60 quid. Not because you're dangerous, but because the tyre had the audacity to breathe on a yellow line. You're juggling up pram, bags, screaming kids, and the council's like, lovely jubbly, that'll be 60 quid. Thank you, darling. Mess. People are skint, but don't worry, enforcement are doing not laps like the training for the Olympics. This isn't safety, this is surveillance for profit, big man. Come at me if your bank account has been personally victimised. I'm too loud to be ignored out here, councils. Hit follow for more chaos.
Ah, the true spirit of Boxing Day 2025 inches. One passionate soul staring down a £30 half leg of goat meat like it's personally betrayed them. Admitting it's gorgeous, but still ready to switch to a lifetime of bread and water, because apparently the only things left affordable are potatoes and carrots on special. And even then, Sainsbury's is trying to nick the last shreds of our dignity.
Somebody needs to tell me what the hell is going on with prices. The standard of living is doing my head in. I know it's doing your head in too, because somebody needs to tell me what's going on. Seriously. Even my favorite butchers. Okay, fine, the meat is beautiful. You've got to admit that. Look at that. Look at this meat. It's beautiful, yeah? Really, really beautiful. That's not the point though. I used to buy this for less than what I'm buying it now. So this half a leg. Sorry, I'm getting excited. Half a leg of goat meat. Do you want to know how much it is? Oh my god, I want to cry. 30 fucking pounds. 30 pounds for this. That's it. This is it. Nothing else. 30 pounds, you guys. What is going on? What the hell is going on with meat and everything? Not just meat, even grapes are expensive. I don't know why I use grape as an example. The only thing that's cheap at this moment in time is potatoes and carrots, and that's because there's Christmas and it's bloody 5p at Aldi, 15p at Sainsbury's. Even Sainsbury's is doing us dirty. Anyway, I'm moving to something else. I came here to rant about this meat. Look at it. 30 pounds for this. I should stop eating meat and just have bread and water. That's what I should have. Bread and water. 30 pounds for this, you guys. The meat does look good though. Look at it. Look at these big chunks. So I'm going to half it because I am not going to eat all of this in one meal. I'm going to half it and then I'm going to cook a curry goat and I'm going to cook benachin with the rest of it. I'm going to cook some jollof rice. I want to scream. I want to scream. Can I please scream? I want to scream. There's too much. No wonder everybody is broke and angry and like miserable because everything is too much. Yes, it is.
Festive cheer, Britain 2025 style. One fed up soul asking the £1 million question. Why are we handing out phones, cash and houses to illegal arrivals like it's a welcome hamper, while hard-working locals can't even afford a bloody mobile top-up or a roof over their heads? And apparently, the real refugees forgot to bring the wives because 90% of them seem to be blokes on a solo lad's holiday to the land of freebies.
Why the fuck should we be providing phones, money and houses for illegal immigrants when more than half of England are struggling and don't have a pot to piss in? Some of us can't afford phones. We also can't afford fucking houses. We also have to work full-time jobs to survive. Then you just walk in and get all that for fuck all. And you wonder why so many people are getting pissed off. Sorry, but I agree. This might wind some people up, but it's wrong. It's fucking wrong. And if half of them are trying to flee the situation that they're in, why have they left the missus there? And it's literally 90% men that are coming into the country. Why is that? So yeah, just my thought of the day. Why do we have to work our fucking arses off in our own country and you just walk in and get everything that we can't fucking have? Mental.
Merry Boxing Day, 2025 Britain. Because when the cost of living has already bankrupted your dreams, why not move straight onto the cost of dying? Islington Council heroically stepping in with council tax rebates so the dying poor can shuffle off this mortal coil without quite so much fuel poverty, while 300 souls a day nationwide quietly starve in their final year, proving once again that our governments of all colours have turned even death into an elite vampires buffet.
Forget the cost of living crisis, now we've got the cost of dying crisis. All right, check this out. We've got a story here about a council in London, Islington Council, who are trying to help people out with the cost of dying, believe it or not. They're going to be doing this with council tax rebates, helping out with fuel poverty. This is based on research by Marie Curie, which shows that 26% of people in Islington experience poverty in the last year of their lives. Extending that nationally, we got over 300 people a day, 111,000 people a year who are experiencing poverty in the final year of their life. This is absolutely not good enough. It is about the successive failure of corrupt governments of all stripes. We deserve better. It's not about left and right. It's about normal people coming together, building our future, getting rid of these scamming elites, these vampires who suck out the life force of ordinary people.
The glittering misery of London 2025. A mid-20-second soul quietly seething while posh colleagues half their age still send mummy a Christmas list like it's 1,995. All while she's over the moon with a single chocolate orange and raging at £3 little raspberries that rot faster than a politician's promise. Because nothing says festive inequality quite like being jealous of people who can still afford to be ungrateful.
I love London and all, but every day I feel like it just drives home when I'm here, how rich people are. For example, the other day in work, they were all talking, and bear in mind these people are all kind of my age in their mid-20s, talking about giving their parents their Christmas list. One of them was like, oh, my mum's badgering me about my Christmas list. Christmas list. One, we're old enough to I don't know, just not be doing that personally in my opinion. But two, in these economic times, in these conditions, people are still doing Christmas lists. I'm more than grateful at Christmas if my mum gets me a chocolate orange, and that's not even begging it, it's just thank you. Oh my God, Christmas lists. I don't remember the last time I done that, and it just reminds me in these times where everyone's struggling, there are so many people out there just writing Christmas lists still and having a great time. So maybe I'm jealous. I think I am.
Happy Boxing Day 2025 Britain, where politicians and headlines smugly announce we've turned the corner on the economy, while the rest of us are still stuck in the same bloody roundabout, watching rent, bills and the weekly shop laugh in our faces, wages get nibbled by inflation, and the only thing truly growing is the quiet, furious realisation that recovery is just a fancy word for carry on drifting like a knackered lifeboat.
If you think the UK economy is finally getting better, you might want to hear this, because the numbers and reality on the ground tell two very different stories. We keep hearing that growth is improving and inflation is easing, but look at your rent, your weekly shop and your energy bills. If they're not falling, then the economy's not recovering in any meaningful way for normal people. Wages have ticked up, but inflation has eaten most of that gain. Interest rates are still high enough to crush mortgages and small business lending, and disposable income is shrinking, not growing. Politicians like to talk about turning a corner, but ask yourself this. If the corner's been turned, why does it still feel like we're stuck in the same place? The job market looks strong on paper, but too much of it is part-time or lower paid work, and businesses are holding back on investment because taxes, trade and energy costs remain uncertain. So, the truth's uncomfortable. We're not heading into collapse, but we're not heading into recovery either. We're drifting, and drifting is dangerous because it makes people think the worst is over when nothing has actually changed. The only test that matters is simple. Are your bills shrinking? Is your income stretching? And are you able to save? Until those answers are yes, the economy's not recovering, whatever the headlines say. And that's the part you'll not hear from the mainstream media.
So there we have it, folks. A symphony of swearing, cold chips, betrayed childhood frogs, and the quiet, bone-deep ache of knowing that even death itself has now priced us out. Cheers, Islington Council, for the cost of dying crisis, truly the gift that keeps on taking. We've heard from the young who'll never own a house unless they marry a cryptocurrency, the parents for whom a trip into town is now a £60 luxury felony, the shop workers watching war veterans weep over prices, and the rest of us who just want our raspberries to last longer than a politician's promise. It's bleak, it's brutal, and yes, it's bloody unfair, but it's also very, very British. We moan, we queue, we mutter, mustn't grumble through gritted teeth, and somehow we keep going. Because if we can survive £7 boxes of celebrations, cold McFlurries, and the knowledge that avocado toast isn't the villain after all, then maybe, just maybe, we'll survive this too. Chin up, love. The Freddo might cost 50p now, but at least we've still got each other and a shared furious sense of humour that's worth more than any lottery win. Merry bloody Christmas. May your bills be small, your chips be hot, and your goat curry stretch further than your patience. God help us all.